What's going on, people? How y'all doing? I bet you if anybody decides to watch this, they're probably wondering, what's he doing a show on a Saturday for? Um, I'm going to be replaying some clips from last night's show, Sports Plus Life Talking Ish. And I say that because YouTube blocked that show. And it was because I showed a couple clips of Chappelle's show, and that's my fault. That's on me. But there were some messages that definitely needed to be heard, and I don't want that to be blocked. I want that message to be out there. So this is a special edition. This is called Sports Plus Life Replay. I'm going to be putting yesterday's show on here, and I am going to get out the way and remove myself because I got other shit going on. I got other shit that I'm doing right now. I just came back from Walmart. I got other stuff that I'm doing. So here we go. Now, we're 20 minutes in, and I'm going to address why Mr. Chandler is not joining us. And I've noticed since I said that I was going to address it, he stopped commenting on the show because Robert texted me again last night and this morning, making demands and telling me what I was going to do and what I wasn't going to do on the show. So apparently, he has this information about Michelle Obama. And basically, to make a long story short, he's basically saying that Michelle Obama just admitted to being a man. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. That Michelle Obama just admitted to being a man. So I get these text messages. Out the blue again. Out the blue. Lomar, I'm not making this up. Hampton, I'm not making this up. I get these text messages. The first one he sent was at 11 something last night. Nigga, I was asleep. Okay. Well, the first one was Wednesday, and I paid no absolute attention to it. It was Michelle Obama just outed herself as a black man. I didn't pay no attention to that whatsoever. I really didn't see that. So last night I get this text message saying, so she came out with soft disclosure. How you going to act with your show? I won't be debated, period. She said out her own mouth in first person. No mistake, no misinterpretation, and sure as fuck not allegedly. This is what got me, that I won't be debated. So I simply said this. If someone challenges you, then someone challenged you. That's how the show goes. And you need to learn to accept that and have your proof ready, period. The show is called Sports Plus Life, not Robert's right whenever he talks, period. Because point blank, period, the shit that he pulled last week was unnecessary. When he just got off just because Kia made a comment. That was unnecessary. Kia didn't say nothing wrong. She didn't argue. She did none of the above. And he just banged on. He just got off he just got off just because I guess she said something that he didn't agree with. But it was unnecessary. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you again exactly what happened. Okay, so let's see. And I'm like, bruh, if you can't accept the name of the motherfucking game, then you don't have to come on. I'm not begging nobody. So this is what happened last week. And you give
You let
and I'm
him
typing
talk
it out,
for
and then I look
20
up, and
minutes,
you're gone.
and then when I wanted to talk, you and him kept cutting me off. That's why I left.
You want me to pull that show up?
Let's get that right.
You
Are
want
you
me
sure
to
you want to pull it up?
that show up?
Are you sure you want to pull it up?
Sure. I just have to remember the number of the show. But yes, I do remember that. Yes, I remember me looking for something that I said, I think I found it. I'm like, where'd he go? And he's like, I don't know. He left. So, I mean, you're saying all of this stuff to say what? Okay, there are people who I guess were responsible for Trump getting charged, who are now getting charged. Okay, that's
all you got. That's all you got.
If they lied about charges, then they should be charged. If they lied about charges, then they should be charged.
What they're being charged for, I don't know anything about this. Like, I never heard of these people either. But from what Robert just said about what their charges are, their charges aren't even related to anything for Trump. You said the girl was taking money or whatever, had a house in Virginia, and wow, it again.
What happened?
Where in the world? I don't know. He's gone.
And I'm looking for the episode.
This is, and no, Brandon, you know what?
And what the hell was that? And that was for what? She was literally asking a question. Nobody was arguing. Nobody was doing nothing. This ain't me, sticking up just because, she's the mother of my kids. No, that was wrong. That was flat out wrong. Nobody did anything. Nobody was arguing or nothing. So then I get hit with these text messages again, like I told you. I see this is from him. See, that's the thing. With all the shit you and everyone on your show done talk, and now she says it out her own mouth, no one can debate me, period. It's not up to discuss, not with me, period. And I'm saying this again. You don't call the shots. This has been James Standback, Robert Chandler, whatever the fuck's problem. If he says something, and I've given him this platform to say whatever he wants, but when somebody asks, well, where's your proof? Or has questions about what he's talking about, then he gets mad. Then he gets in his feelings. Then he wants to get off the conversation. Then he's being threatened and all this other stuff. And I've told him for over a year now, when you talk about stuff like this, people are not going to believe, not everybody's going to believe what you're saying. So you have to have your proof ready. And on several occasions, when I've been like, okay, show me what you're talking about, I hear, oh, hold on. Wait a minute, hold up. No, that ain't how it goes. And then he's sitting there saying, I won't be debated. Well, then, damn it, don't come on. You're welcome to come on, but you're not going to come on here telling me or anybody else I have on this show that we're not allowed to ask questions, that we're not allowed to ask for proof. It don't work like that. Who the fuck do you think you are? No. It doesn't work like that. And I was hoping that he was going to come on over here because I was going to say, again, the basic proof is she's saying, and he's basically saying that Michelle Obama is admitting to be a man. When I looked up that information today, the only thing it said was Michelle Obama may be having issues with her marriage. Nothing about her saying that she's admitting to being a black man. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't look. Unless you can show me concrete evidence, unless she come over to somebody's house and flashes a penis, I'm not buying that shit. I'm not buying it. RuPaul, okay. If Michelle Obama comes over at his house or comes on TV and flashes a dick, or she's wearing a dress standing with Barack and you can see a wood poking out, then I'm not buying that. Yes, I'm questioning your sources. And if you want to say Q, fuck a Q. I don't give a shit what a Q says. Because RS and TUV may have something to say too. Hell, maybe WX, Y, and Z. But I don't give a fuck about them neither because I'm sipping on my ABC. How about that? So the text messages go on. He said, I won't be coming on them. Okay. I don't need to call shots. I will be respected and talk with people that live in reality. Nobody's being disrespectful. I have respect for everybody. And I said, it's not mine or anybody else's fault that you can't handle anyone saying, show your proof. No one's trying to argue with you. I said, you get mad when people question your info. And he said, for me to let someone talk back to me about this is just disrespectful and will not happen, period. What up, sis? Because people are going to talk back to you because you can't prove that you're right. You can't prove that. And you ain't nobody's daddy on this motherfucker. They're not going to talk back to me. You ain't nobody's daddy on this motherfucker. You can't prove that you're right. It's a conspiracy, allegedly. And it's what it said. It's how you do it, and you don't have the same energy now that the people who are trying to lock Trump up are getting locked up. And I said this. And once again, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You want to talk about it, fine. But what you're not going to do is tell me or anyone else I have on the show that we can't ask questions. Nobody's forcing you to come on the show. But if anything sounds sketchy, then I'm going to ask, and so is anyone else. We have that right, period. And he said, she said she was a man, period. There's a lot of periods going on in this bitch. She said she was a man, period. So now it's how people receive it and accept it. And I said, and I call bullshit. So you will get questions, sources and all, if you choose to join. Nigga, period. Motherfucker, period. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. If somebody says something that I may have questions about, do I not have the right to ask who your source is? Now, Lomar, you said Michelle Obama's not a man, and that's just your opinion. Well, according to Robert, you're being disrespectful. According to Robert, you're being disrespectful. If you don't agree with him that she's a man. I mean, yeah, I understand it's my show, Hampton, but I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. I open up the platform for anybody to say whatever they feel, whatever they believe. But also, you have to understand that with that comes questions. With that, people are gonna want proof. Now, am I wrong for allowing other people, including myself, to say, hey, show your proof? I don't think you're wrong at all. You have the right to question and ask for sources. Thank you, sis. Then no, you have the right because it's your show. Okay, cool beans. I mean, I'm really taking my show part out of the fucking equation. But it's just, but what you're not going to do is tell me and anybody who's a guest on the show or anybody who's in my chat what they can't do. And the fact that you guys said that y'all don't think I'm wrong for doing that, well, apparently, I guess, in his book, y'all are all wrong too. And no, I don't say that because you're my bro, that you're my bro from another missive. Man, salute, sis. You know I love you. And guess what? I still love Robert the fucking death. That's always gonna be my nigga. It's also called conspiracies, not facts. But see what he's saying, he basically, Hampton, what he's saying is that everything he is saying is facts. That's what he's saying. He said everything that he's saying is factual. That's basically what he's saying. And if it's coming from QAnon, I'm not taking everything as factual. There is some things that QAnon says that is factual, but I'm not taking everything at QAnon's word. I'm just not. That's motherfucking ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So let's go to Google together, shall we? Let's go to Google together. Let's go to Google together, my wonderful chat. I love you guys so much. Let's go there together. And let's look up Michelle Obama. Let's look up Michelle Obama. And see, do you see anything about Michelle Obama saying that she's a man? Michelle Obama. I told you, I looked at this earlier. That's why the first thing that pops up. Okay, Michelle Obama. What do you see here? And this is 12 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago. Michelle Obama, everybody would know if my marriage was in trouble. Michelle Obama gets real about couples therapy with Barack amid divorce rumors. Michelle Obama says so in the immediate news with Michelle Obama, where do you see anything about Michelle having a penis? Where do you see anything about Michelle Obama having a fucking penis? Where? I don't see anything. Do y'all see anything? I don't see nothing. So I don't understand how I would be being disrespectful by simply asking, who's your source? Because I see nothing. I see nothing on here that says anything about Michelle Obama having a tree with two apples. I see nothing about that. So I ask again, sir, the fuck you talking about? I will not be debated. Well, if you come on this motherfucker, yes, you will be. I will not be questioned. If you come on this motherfucker, yes, you will be. And you see, you still looking too, right? So everybody else is doing their research. I wish you would come on here tonight because I was going to light your ass up. Because there's nothing that I see. And I understand mainstream media, controlled narratives. I understand all that shit. All of it. But that's just far-fetched. If it was true, it would have been on the news and it would have been talked about all day. It would have been on the news all day. And I tell you why it would have been in the news and talked about all day. Because she's a black woman. Because she's a black woman. Oh, if news came out that she had a ding-a-ling, oh, please, mainstream media would eat that shit up. A way to humiliate her, a way to humiliate Barack, especially Fox News. That would have been the story for the rest of fucking 2025. That would have been the story for the rest of 2025. So, Robert, I call bullshit. And like I said, ever since I said that I was going to address him in regards to this situation, all of a sudden I ain't got nothing but crickets. Crickets. That's all I got. Crickets. Because obviously you're dealing with somebody that's so fucking insecure that they can't stand being told that they're wrong, even if they're dead ass wrong, or even if there's no proof of them being right. Some people just ain't built for it. It is what it is. I still my brother, and I'm going to love him for the rest of my life and the rest of his life. But I'm calling bullshit. And I'm calling grow the fuck up as far as being able to take constructive criticism or people clapping back at things that you say that may be a little far-fetched. Some of it may be true. Who knows? But there's nothing wrong with anybody asking for a source. So I'm saying that. And I'm saying that because I love you, dog. But you're being ridiculous. That shit you did last week was disrespectful. Because Kia did nothing. Kia did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. She was responding to a comment that I said and was asking you a question before you was just disrespectful as a bitch. There's nothing wrong with y'all. Yeah, exactly. We're supposed to agree to disagree. We're supposed to agree to disagree. That's just what it is. I'm going to show y'all again. Responsible for Trump getting charged, who are now getting charged. Okay, that's all you got. That's all you got. If they lied about charges, then they should be charged. If they lied about charges, then they should be charged.
What they're being charged for, I don't know anything about this. Like, I never heard of these people either, but from what Robert just said about what their charges aren't even related to anything for Trump. You said the girl was taking money or whatever, had a house in Virginia, and wow, he did it again.
What happened?
Where in the world? I don't know. He's gone.
And I'm looking for the episode.
This is no, Brandon. You know what? I didn't do it this time. I didn't do a thing.
I don't even have it on the StreamYard screen. This is exactly how it happened. What the fuck?
I'm just trying to figure out, because like I said, I don't know anything about those people. But if he's trying to say, like,
I know
basically saying that Trump is a good guy because look, these people tried to charge him and now they're being charged. But it's like their charges are totally unrelated to Trump. And just because they're getting charged, they probably just as bad as he is. I mean, he's, he didn't do what he was being charged with.
And I think if they were lying about that, then they should be charged. But I never said the name Leticia Smith.
Right.
I never said
but he didn't say that he didn't say that their charges were in relation to lying about Trump. That's what I was trying to understand. I didn't say anything to offend him. I know that for sure. I've been quiet this whole time.
I know. Okay. So, like, again, that was crazy. You said what? You said you wish you was there live. Well, Hampton, you were supposed to be celebrating live. It's your birthday, brother. It was your birthday, man. I mean, if you want to come on the feed now, you can just text me your Gmail address, and I can send you the link and you can come on. But that's up to you, bro. But you're supposed to be celebrating, bro. Last Friday was your birthday. And so yeah. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's nuts. That is nuts, But I'm gonna show. Hey, in other news, like I said, I was DJing earlier tonight, and I made, I just started the LLC maybe about 2 weeks ago. Tonight, I wrote my first receipt. Tonight, I wrote my first receipt that's going in the books of All Day, All Night ENT LLC. And I'm gonna be busy because I'm damn near, honestly, I'm damn near booked up for the month of June. Let's see, I got next Saturday, that's May 10th. That's the graduation party. And then I don't have another one till May 30th, the last day of school, at the Anarav Pool Club. Then I have June 7th at the Pool Club. Then I have now Skip With booked me again for June 13th for their for their father-daughter dance. So I'm booked June 13th. I got Keis's baby shower June 14th. I got the back of the Pool Club on June 21st. So I'm almost booked I'm booked for every Saturday but one in the month of June. July, not too busy right now. I have the 26th, I have a fish fry to do it the 26th. And then the week after that, I have the Pool Club again on August 1st. But, I'm loving it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I'm staying busy doing stuff that I absolutely love, and to be honest, this was last minute. Me doing Skip With at Westchester today, this was last minute. It really was. But they had a great time. It was just for an hour and a half. I figured I could knock that out. It was just for an hour and a half, and it was cool. It was absolutely wonderful. And to be honest with you, I really could be on here for the rest of the night, but now I'm starting to feel the day is starting to catch up to me. Like I said, I've been on the go. I've been on the go since 6 o'clock this morning. I've been on the go since 6 o'clock this morning, honestly. Like I said, morning bus run, Directly after that, go to Ashland, the daycare. Directly after that, come back to Wood to the county to do my evening bus run. Directly after that, go to Chesterfield to DJ. So the day, I ain't gonna lie, the day is starting to whip my ass just a little bit. The day's starting to fuck with me. I didn't watch Power, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch none of that shit today. The day is starting to catch up with me. It is. It really is. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. But I hope everybody has had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. I do. I hope everybody has had a wonderful Friday, and I hope they have a wonderful weekend. And you know, when you doing stuff like that, of course, you know, I met a couple of people who are doing their own independent business thing. So, you know, I exchanged contact information there as well. So, and it's just cool beans. It's cool beans. It is. It is. It's cool beans, and I can't have to say, I'm like who's the fucking, who says I'm loving it? I don't know if it's Burger King. Oh yeah, McDonald's. It's McDonald's. I'm loving it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and I'm just we're just getting started. All day, all night, ENT, you boy. Okay, so I'm just jumping back on for a second, really just to because you know, like I said, I'm kind of chopping this up, and I'm gonna be back on. Wait, what's up, you guys? What's up, Leash? What's up, Erica? What I'm doing is that I'm kind of doing a quick replay of the show last night because, you know, YouTube blocked it because I played because I did a Chappelle show. I played a Chappelle show skit, and that's my fault. So, but there were certain topics of conversation that really needed to be had and needed to be heard. And, you know, just, you know, to set the record straight as far as the whole, you know, Robert situation, you know, I just needed to kind of set the record straight. And I mean, I still got nothing but love for Rob, and Rob can come on the show Friday anytime he wants. But he just got to know, he got to leave that sensitive. He has to leave that sensitive stuff at the door and understand that people are allowed to ask questions. You know, if that's a problem, then, you know, then it is what it is. But that's, oh yeah, I feel you. I know you. Yeah. So I'm actually about to go back and play some more of last night's show. So if you missed it, then, you know, definitely just go ahead and take a listen, because I'm sitting here watching Power. I didn't get a chance to watch Power last night. I'm sitting here watching my shit.
Facts back to the owners. They taking stuff out the museums.
Oh shit! Hey.
No, it's not me. I'm pissed.
Oh shit! This motherfucker said, "This land is your land." Psych. He said, "This land is my land, bitch." I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just will not let that shit bother me, because you know why? Because people have been doing fucked up shit to black people all the live long day. And with all of the marching, all of the protests, all of this, all of that, you know, people still find ways. People in the highest of high positions still find ways to do foul shit to black people. So, I mean,
well, you know what I think is important, that the elders of the black community make sure that they share their knowledge and their wisdom with the newer generation. And it's important for the newer generation to absorb that knowledge and wisdom and pass it on, because it's going to be up to us to keep our legacy in this country as long as people like, you know, Donald Trump is in office. So,
and you know, people are going to be like that when he's out of office, because, like I said,
but that's why I said people like him.
Yeah, I
people
mean,
with his ideals
but
and
you can, you
that
can
kind of mindset.
try to erase Black history all you want, but you'll never be able to. Because, and this is one thing that they're realizing is why they're so pissed. With every mixed baby is another Black baby. And all that's going to do is create more Black history. It's just going to involve some white parents. Okay, so what? So
Well, I mean, no, but like if you don't know, you know, I can't even think of the way they say it, but it's like something to the fact like if you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it or something like that. It's like no. It's important for them, you know, it's not just numbers. Yeah, numbers are great, but knowledge is power. Okay, because
they'll
you can
always
have
be
all the
knowledge.
numbers, but if the numbers don't know shit, Black history gone.
And Black history will never be gone because it's still, because there's enough people who have gotten and retained and will always retain knowledge from the elders and will pass it down to their kids, who will pass it down to their kids. You can never
We can
erase Black
only hope and pray so. We
For
can
one, okay,
I
if you
hope
want to
and
erase
pray
Black
so.
history, if you want to erase Black history, then the month of February won't matter. Have you heard anybody saying that February is no longer Black History Month? It's just a month, even though every month should be Black History Month. And it's crazy how Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. But I'll get into that another time, another day. But you know, you can never erase Black History Month because like I said, there is a month, albeit the short one, even when it's a leap year, still the shortest month where everything is recognized. So I don't give a fuck what they take out of a school curriculum, what statues or artifacts they try to send back to the owners. I don't care, because you can never erase what our people has done for this country and has done for this world. And people who try to erase that, then you know what? God bless them. That's all I'm gonna say. God bless them.
I just need Black people to continue the momentum that we've been doing, especially since Trump got elected, with, you know, just worrying about Black business, minding our own beautiful Black businesses. Okay. Because and standing on business with like the whole Target situation. You know, you don't want to be diverse, you don't want to be equitable, you don't want to include people. Fine. We don't need to spend our Black dollars here. We can just take our Black dollars elsewhere. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. We respect your choice to not want to respect or acknowledge the fact that America is a melting pot full of all different types of since the beginning of this country.
Right. The foundation of this country.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. The foundation.
We don't have to spend our Black dollars there.
The foundation of this country was never solid, ever, never. I don't care.
No.
And this is not me being a anti-patriot or anything like. Well, I am not a patriot. Okay, I'm not anti anything, but I'm not a patriot because I've learned too much as far as the hypocrisy of this country goes. So when you say, "Are you a patriot?" No, I'm not. Am I anti anything? No, I'm not. I'm anti bullshit. So, the foundation of this country was always fucked up. Always.
I mean, you know, I'm not trying to be funny, but it was fine until the colonizers. Whatever was going on here before the people who would eventually turn this place into the United States of America got here, you know, the series of events that led up to that, the series of events starting with, you know, Christopher Columbus, who, if I can recall, wasn't European. He was Spanish.
And he did. You know, he was not the first person to discover America. That was all bullshit too.
But no, what I'm saying is basically he was, I would think of it like this. He, you know, obviously we know the Native Americans were here first.
No, but not even that. He wasn't.
But I know. No, I was just getting ready to say, like, I've also heard that there have been a lot of other
Lee Erickson and the Vikings, outside of the Native Americans, was actually the first, you know, people who came in on a boat that discovered America. It was not Christopher Columbus. It was Lee Erickson and the Vikings. They they saw the Native Americans, no problem, no beef. They just went on about their business.
Yeah, but whatever the Native Americans were doing here before their land was infringed upon. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes it's hard to have these
Of course it
conversations, but it's
was.
the truth. But it's the
It's
truth.
not
It was
hard.
infringed
It's all
upon. You know.
I don't get why it's a
Um,
hard conversation to have, to be honest with
I
you.
feel like this land was beautiful. And then the thing about it, and I don't know a lot about Native American culture, but one thing I do know, okay, is that the lands have been cursed. You don't play around with Native American land,
These places.
okay? Because whatever Native Americans got going on, like they are deeply tapped in to this world.
That's after
And
the
it's
nature. Yeah.
just very interesting to me. Like I'll give you a good example. What's that lake in Georgia where a lot of people died? And it's like the most deadliest lake.
DS,
You know-
DSGB.
No, never mind. I don't remember the name of the lake. But there's a lake in Georgia. And a lot of people have died in this lake. But check this out. So the lake was man-made. They flooded a city and covered it up to make this lake. So like if you go in the lake and go deep down, like you start seeing buildings and shit. It's just weird. It's very weird. But before the city was there, it was Native American land.
I got some answers. The chat is with me.
Okay.
Hold up. Lanier.
Yes, Lake Lanier. Yes.
Thank you, Omar. You could be right too.
It is exactly Lake Lanier. Yes.
That's right. So I got some smart motherfuckers listening on the show. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And Native Americans don't play about their land, right? So this is just my theory, okay? Because I be coming up with my own conspiracy theories sometimes, right? I don't even need the internet. I do this shit to myself. No, I'm just joking. Okay. So look, my conspiracy theory is, what if you look at all the carnage and devastation that's happened in this country since like the beginning of people coming over here trying to make it like the United States, like the colonies, since the colonies and all that shit, right? Is because this was not our land first. It was Native American land. And not only were they killed, they was removed from it violently. And like I said, I don't know a lot about Native Americans, but I do know that there have been curses put on the lands. So I'm like, what if all of America is cursed? All the lands. And that's why America is the way it is. Because it's cursed.
This place is cursed.
I know. I went deep off that. I know. I went.
We didn't do it. Okay,
we didn't do it. I feel like
I didn't do it.
I feel like Black people are immune. I feel like African Americans are immune because they brought us over here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had nothing to do with that. They took our asses and brought us over here.
Oh yeah, this conversation definitely got uncomfortable. I done lost some shit of viewers.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, listen, I told you got to do your thing, okay? Because you let me.
But see, stuff like this
go for some random shit.
No, stuff like this doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because uncomfortable conversations need to be had if there's going to be any type of progress. Uncomfortable conversations need to be had. We can't act like the shit never happened because it did, and motherfuckers still live by it. There's laws and legislation, that still live by that shit. So I don't care.
And yeah, exactly. You're right. People still out here trying to fucking colonize and conquer.
Yeah. So, I don't, if that makes people uncomfortable, then this conversation is not for you.
Then good.
And
no,
if it does
good.
make you uncomfortable, if it does make you uncomfortable, that's your inner guilty conscience.
That means you still have a soul. You should do something about that feeling. You should go out and sow seeds of goodness and joy.
It's not anything about us being racist. It's not anything about that. It's just about factual evidence. Factual evidence. And some people just don't want to hear it. But it does, just because you don't want to hear it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be talked about, shouldn't be discussed. Like I've said this several times on this show. I've said this about that R word that people like to run from, reparations. Why is it that every nationality that suffered tyranny and persecution has gotten reparations except for the African American Negro? That's not a coincidence. That's been done on purpose. That's been done on purpose.
You know, I saw a video. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I saw a video with Louis Farrakhan, and he was talking about basically he was being this was an old interview. It looked like it was like in the 80s or early 90s, and he was on a white TV show, but it was a mixed audience, and there were a lot of white people asking him questions like, why can't we just forget the past, move on in peace, and blah 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 blah. And Minister Farrakhan brought up the Holocaust. He was like, look at the Jews. He said, Jewish people, pretty much have you remember the Holocaust. People even take trips every year to like Auschwitz and stuff where the concentration camps were and all that, and, they take people being violent or racist against Jews. They call that anti-Semitism. And it's highly frowned upon. It's punishable in a lot of places to be anti-Semitic. But what does it mean when people are anti-Black?
Exactly.
Where's our protection? Jews got reparations for the Holocaust.
Yes.
Where were Black reparations for slavery?
Exactly.
It's sickening to me that but I'm gonna tell you the sickening part, but then I'm gonna tell you the part that makes me feel good about it. So it's sickening to me to think that we're always the ones that are being tossed aside and thrown out and looked past and looked over and treated wrong, and but because of what I believe and who I believe in, I feel it just solidifies the fact in my mind that I believe that African Americans in this country are the true Black, God's people, the true Hebrew Israelites. And I know a lot of people don't like that. They think that's anti-Semitic. They think that's this, they think that's that. But if you truly read the Bible and read the story of the Hebrews, sound like African Americans to me, sound like everything we went through in this country.
It's not disrespectful. It's only seen as disrespectful by a group of people who want to keep the mind fuck going, who want to keep the lie going. There's a phrase called, I will die with the lie. And a lot of these people in very powerful positions live by that. And the problem I have with a certain community is that, like you said, if you say something about them, it's anti-Semitism. And I'm just like this. I'm sorry. There are other nationalities that have suffered persecution worse than yours, but they can be talked about ad nauseum at comedy or anything else. And this is more or less of me saying, I'm not saying anything bad about this community. What I'm saying is, if you can't even make a joke, if you can't poke fun at yourself, then your uptight ass needs to chill out. And this is not me being anti-Semitic about nothing, because there's no race on this earth who's been more persecuted, slavery or without slavery, than the African American Negro. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't give a fuck if anybody has an issue with me saying that, because motherfuckers can't handle the truth. Motherfuckers try to write history in their own way. How many years have you seen churches across this country have a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus? That's historically incorrect. It says it in the Bible in churches that have blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. You have pictures of a historically incorrect Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to address him by. But yet the Bible that you have on your pew clearly tells you what Heavenly Father's son looked like. And it was not blonde hair. It wasn't blue eyes. It wasn't wavy locks in his hair. It was skin of bronze.
He did not have a 30-inch bust down.
Hair. I got, boy, YouTube is mad at me right now. YouTube is mad at me. It was skin of bronze, hair of sheep's wool. That means Jesus had skin this color and a Jackson 5 fro.
I saw this video of this white pastor. I wonder if you can find it. It's a little quick clip, but he was basically saying that white people who are racist need to stop and befriend the black people. And then he tells you why. I wonder if you could find it. See if you can find it.
What does it say?
It's like a pastor tells congregation to befriend black people. I don't know if that's, just type that in and see what you get.
On YouTube?
It's on YouTube or, TikTok. It's a short. It's not like a full video.
Congregation.
Maybe you should say white pastor. That might bring it up.
Befriend black people. Let me see. White pastor tells congregation to befriend the niggers.
Oh my God.
Oh, he says, don't close that door. Open that door. Okay, maybe I should put white pastor because nothing is coming up here. Wow, pastor defends lavish lifestyle. Oh boy, we should watch that. Let's see. How old was this video?
It's an old video, but it I mean, obviously someone made it into like a TikTok, but it's fine.
Let me see. No. I just want to see if this is it, because this is we gonna let's see. Let's see what we find here. Okay.
Let me say something right quick.
I think that might be it.
I think back on the African American people in America. I think how that they were taken against their wills, put in the belly of ships, brought over here, beat, cussed. Many of them died in the guts of those ships, thrown overboard. They were pulled from families over there. You ain't never heard a gut-wrenching song. Do you hear a black person sing one of those old black Negro spirituals? Nobody knows. I can't sing it like that, see?
Careful now.
Because I hadn't experienced what they mean. When you've experienced hell, it comes out of the voice. I said, when you experience hell, it comes out of the voice. If you're one of those people that you got problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth.
Come on now.
Because they're God's people. You better
come on now.
You better shut your mouth. You better shut your white mouth.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Boy, he said.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. He said that. Yeah, that would have got it there quicker. It said white pastor tells congregation to shut their white mouths. That's what it was. Yeah.
Hold up. I gotta keep going.
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you. I know some of you was raised in the deep South and you was raised by prejudiced people and bigoted people. You better get that out of your system. You better get it out of your system. It'll cause you to suffer. Right along with those masters. It'll cause you to suffer right along with them. These are God's people. And I know that there's wicked in white races and wicked in black races and all that. I'm not justifying none of that stuff. I'm just saying God knows what happened to the black race. He knows how they wound up over here. And God is going to reimburse the black people for all their trouble and all their labor. You watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
My Lord knows, I hope he's right, because we ain't gonna get no type of reimbursement from these people here. I don't even know this pastor name, but God bless this man. I don't see hardly no black people in this congregation. I swear, if I can go to his church tomorrow, I'll be there.
Listen.
All right. What the hell? Wait a minute. What the hell? Hold up. This was supposed to be... What the hell happened? By the pound?
Like I told you, it was a short that I saw. I don't know what you're looking at. I only saw a short.
You know what? I'm not going to let them ruin this moment. I'm not going to let them ruin it.
Because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth.
You better shut your white mouth.
You better shut your white mouth.
I'm going to start telling people that.
I know some of you was raised in the deep South and you was raised by prejudiced people and bigoted people. You better get that out of your system. You better get it out of your system. It'll cause you to suffer right along with those masters. It'll cause you to suffer right along with them. These are God's people.
Man, his wife must be black or something. His wife must be black or something. I want to read some of these comments. Holy shit. Amen. Black people are the true Israelites. Amen. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. This pastor's sending chills through me. We all should love each other because God made us all. I'm being so serious. Like, oh my goodness. Boy. Thank you, sir. I wonder how many people after this sermon.
There was this trend on TikTok where, like, after all the shit started to hit the fan with Donald Trump and people started having like voters regret, people was on TikTok like, dear black people. Like white people was like, dear black people, like, we need you. And black people was like, nope, we are on break. What do you want? No. So, I mean, no. My thing is, like, I'm not trying to be divisive or make it seem like one race is better than the other. But what I will say, if you look at black people, and every race has been through something at one point in history or another. But I'm black, so I can only speak through my black lens, right? And looking at black people and what black people have been through, all the shit we then encountered throughout our time in this country, you know, we had everything stacked up against us, and we still look at started from the bottom. Now we here, like they don't give it to us, but we take it. And that's one thing I love about my black people. Like, if we would just stick together, if we would just put our money where our mouth is and, invest in black, buy black, build up and not tear down black people, we would be something serious to mess with. And I think people know that. And when I say something serious to mess with, I don't mean in an aggressive, conquering type of way. But, because black people, I feel like just like to do their own thing, mind their business. We don't really want smoke. We really don't. Well, for the most part, I feel like black people just like to mind our business and do our own thing. And I feel like if we just start.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
And I was going to say, if we just start putting our energy in towards, being our own saviors instead of waiting for, sorry to say this, but I was going to say the one. Yeah.
The government.
All right.
Because it's a lot of skin folk who ain't kin folk. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, bottom line is, we don't have to rely on people to do stuff for us. We can do it ourselves. Period. We have the capabilities. We're smart. We're resilient. Okay, black people are amazing, and I love my beautiful. I love all people, but I'm black, so I mean, I'm pro-black. I'm not anti anything. I'm just pro-black.
That's the way I feel.
It just is what it is.
I love everybody. I'm not anti anything.
I just think it makes people uncomfortable when you're okay with stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel like people get uncomfortable. Oh, why are you pro? Like it makes it. I don't know why it didn't. They put up their defense mechanism or something, like they want to fight.
Well,
you
I don't
wanna
know
fight?
why anybody will put up the defensive mechanism. I mean, if anybody ever asked me why are you pro-black, I would say just look at the history. And it's not just look at the history of stuff in the past. Look at the shit that still happens today. And I'm going to use Shedeur Sanders as an example. I'm going to use the NFL that I love dearly as an example. There are plenty of examples that happens in the 21st century, and we a quarter century into the 21st century, and it's still bullshit that happens to black people. So if anybody was to ever ask me, why am I pro-black? I'm not anti anything. I'm anti-dumb. I'm anti-evil. That's what I am. I'm anti-evil. Okay, so if anybody ever asked me that question, I would tell them why. And if people got uncomfortable about it, then I mean, then you're afraid
It's
to live
okay.
in reality. It's a part of reality.
It's okay to be uncomfortable.
I have to have this conversation with a lot of people that I'm close to. Not a lot, but with some people I'm close to, because they're in interracial relationships. And I'm not down on anybody's interracial relationship, but that doesn't mean that the nonsense that happens due to race doesn't exist just because you're in an interracial relationship. Because I'll tell anybody who's in an interracial relationship, there's probably some family members of your significant other that hates your guts. And it works.
Both sides.
And it works, but it works both ways.
That's what I said, on both sides.
On both sides. There's probably some people out there on both sides of the relationship that hate your spouse, significant other's guts.
But so what?
And it's not right. It's not right.
It's not right, but so what?
But
You can't live for the opinions
it
of
doesn't
others.
mean that it's not reality. I mean, it's not right, but that doesn't mean that it's not reality.
You can't live for the opinions of others. It just is what it is. I mean, love who you want to
Not at
love. I
all.
don't honestly care. I don't honestly care. I just want Black people to have the same chances and opportunities as the white people. Period. It's just that plain, cut, and simple. At the same level, at the same pay scale, the same frequency of opportunities. Like, it's not that hard.
It's not in this country. It's not just the white people. Other races come over here and advance further than Black people quickly, very quickly. It ain't just white people. People come over here, and I will give other races credit. Other races come over here and they bust their ass. They bust their ass and they earn everything that they fucking get. But they earn everything.
When you think about it, because a lot of times they're sending money back to people back home.
I understand that, but the other races, other people of other races come over here and they earn every fucking thing that they get. I'm not gonna neglect that. I'm not, because our people unfortunately are too dependent on a government that is not going to produce what we really deserve. Simple. Like that pastor said, God is going to be the one, Heavenly Father is going to be the one that's going to repay the debt that this country owes the African American Negro. Not going to be anybody on Capitol Hill or nothing like that. But other people from Mexico, people from Middle Eastern companies, people from Asia come over here and they bust their ass and they earn everything that they get. But their needs and wants and whatever are put ahead of African Americans. Like, I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community, but how the fuck does their needs already usurp the needs of the African American Negro? Make that make sense to me.
The thing is, everybody's needs are important. Our needs are important too. That's all I'm saying. That's the whole part of inclusion in the DEI. We want to be a part of it. We're not saying these people don't deserve these protections or this and that too. We just want to be a part of those things too.
I agree
those
with that.
Two words too. Also, as that. Well as
I agree with that. But here's where I will ruffle some feathers. And I don't give a fuck. Yes, everybody's need for protection is important. But goddamn it, our needs for the African American Negroes' general need for protection has been needed well long before any of these other people or groups have come around. So
That's not true. That's not true.
Which group?
That's not true. Native Americans. Are you serious?
I'm not talking. Okay, I wasn't including Native Americans in the conversation because that's the obvious. That's the obvious. And I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that. Please, I'm not saying that to be disrespectful of Native Americans.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't have no laws protecting them when niggas came here and wiped them clean.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like, that is crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. I wasn't including them in this conversation because that's so obvious. But even with the Native Americans who still live in this country, they have their own total separate government from the United States of America. Even though Native Americans live in this country, as they should, because it's their country, they have their own government. But what I'm talking about with everybody else's group who has a need for this, that, and the third, the need of the African American Negro was there first. Call me petty. I don't give a fuck. I'm not saying anybody's need is less important, but how long? I mean, Malcolm X 60 years ago was filing charges against the United States of America for the treatment of the American Negro, and he was more than justified to do so. Somebody should do it today.
Wait, somebody should do what?
I said 60 years ago, Malcolm X filed charges against the United States of America for the treatment of the American Negro, and he was justified in doing so, and it should still be done today.
It may have been. Have you looked into that?
It hasn't been. That charge died with him, unfortunately.
But have you looked at anything any of our Black political leaders have been doing and stuff like that? As far as
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious as to if you looked anything up or you just haven't heard of anything that you know of.
I haven't heard of anything that I know of, and it's quite simple. You know, I explained this to Robert one day when Robert was trying to tell me that I should take that kind of stance. And I said, you haven't seen the track record of African Americans who have the ability to make other races in this country think at an extended level. They get deleted. So I'm trying to look at it. I'm looking it up now. Let's see. What does Google tell me? Okay, yeah. The U.S. has faced numerous accusations. Okay. I mean, they're talking in serial numbers. W.E.B. Du Bois, appeal to the world.
What do you mean talking serial number? W.E.B. Du Bois is not a serial number.
No. I wasn't talking about W.E.B. Du Bois when I was saying that. No, absolutely. No. I would not be disrespectful to that brother. But see, W.E.B. Du Bois and was thinking on the type of, and I've known about this since I was a kid. W.E.B. Du Bois was more or less thinking on a financial level, was on a financial level as far as kind of like reparations. But what Malcolm X was talking about was literally charges against the American government. And you really think the American government was going to convict itself for the treatment of the African American Negro? You really think the American government is going to do that? But you gotta look at it. There have been cases
And you can Google it right now. Cases brought against the United States of America. There are plenty of cases in federal courts, such and such versus United States of America. Look it up.
Okay. All right. I'm looking up and let's see. All right, and now what's the specific charge that I'm looking for?
Not necessarily a specific charge, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, it's not uncommon for people to file charges against the government. It's really not. It's happened.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, and that's okay too. But I'm almost positive that in a couple of those cases, the United States has lost. And usually, the United States is not going to send itself to jail, but what it does is it pays money. It gives money. That's how the United States does when they lose federal cases. When people sue the United States, they pay out.
Like people, okay, all right, because I have a comment towards that. Okay, charges against the United States government. Okay. All right, charges against the United States government can involve a variety of legal actions, including impeachment of federal officials, criminal prosecutions, and civil lawsuits. Okay, that's pretty much giving me the definition.
Just type in like examples of.
That's what I was going to put in.
Yeah.
Examples. Examples. All right. The U.S. government can face various charges, including those related to violations of international human rights. The international, we go into a whole nother ballgame. Constitutional challenges and criminal actions. Example of charges include human rights abuse, obstruction of justice, and violations of the Constitution.
There you go. And what a black people would fall under would be human rights abuse, and you said violation of constitutional rights.
Right. But see, this is the point This is the point that I'm trying to make, is that they can you can charge the government all you want, and win, but do you actually think you're going to give the financial compensation?
Yeah, I do. People are waiting for the government to pass a reparation bill. No, I think we should just sue. I think maybe collectively as a black people, we all need to start filing charges against the government on behalf of our ancestors, period.
That sounds great. Emphasis on sounds great. That's all. The emphasis on sounds great. Because again, you're asking, the United States government can probably mean, yeah, we were wrong, but African American Negro, we're not going to compensate you what you really deserve to be compensated. Because if that's the case, it probably would have happened by now. And I'm not going to sit here and never say never, but again.
Yeah, we got to do a vibe check, okay? Because you got to keep positivity, you got to keep hope alive.
Of course. But again, it was the director back in the 50s or 60s, the director of the FBI outright said the biggest threat to America is the financial and economic rise of black and brown people.
Ain't that what I just said like 15 minutes ago?
And do you know who that director was?
Ain't that what I said? That if we put our money together, they know we be something to mess with.
But it's not about putting your money together. It was about
and our minds and everything. Our support.
That and because most black people are not going to have the economic resources. Now, the economic rise to power, what's the words I'm looking for? Black Wall Street wasn't an accident. because that was happening in the early 1900s with Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you saw what happened to that.
Okay, but let me just tell you this, okay? This ain't the 19 whatevers, okay? This is 2025. You know, Black people, we not playing those type of shits today. Second off, look at that as an example. You want to know why Black Wall Street was a thing? Because Black people weren't allowed in white places, establishments. So all of our money was being spent in our communities.
Right.
We built our own wealth. This is what that was the point I'm trying to make now. We can literally do it again. I was watching this thing on CNN last week with the whole thing with Target. And what was the numbers I told you about how much Black people spend in Target on a daily basis?
Some ridiculous number that I don't spend because I don't even fucking shop at Target.
It was like, I'm pretty sure it was over $1 million. It was I think that's a modest number. I think I'm not even saying the right number. I'm pretty sure it was a way higher number.
Yeah, way higher.
It was a way higher number than that. So, and then I also heard that Black people have over $1 trillion in spending power in this country.
Yeah.
Who said we can't make ourselves wealthy? That's what I'm saying. We always think we need I don't know. You know what?
I don't
That's
think
just
we need anybody.
Like, you know, if we start investing in Black businesses and Black communities, we can be where and what we want to be as a people. Okay? We cannot keep waiting for, us to be accepted. We have to accept that we may never be accepted. And that's okay.
That's right.
We need to accept ourselves as a people and do what we got to do as a people, for our people, by our people.
If y'all want to invest in a Black business, invest in All Day, All Night ENT. Let's start there.
Wow.
Shit. Is that not?
Yeah, well, it is a Black-owned business. It is.
A Black-owned business.
It is, for sure.
Come on now.
I mean, you gotta look at it.
And I've already infiltrated the Caucasian neighborhoods.
Wow. Other cultures do it. Other cultures do it. Why we can't? They keep their money in their communities, and that's how they grow their wealth. I don't understand why we can't do it.
I agree with everything that you're saying.
They invest in their communities.
I agree with everything that you're saying. But here's where the conspiracy theory is going to take shape for tonight's show. I believe that there is extra effort that goes into this government, making sure that you have your Black entertainers, you have your Black athletes, blah blah.
Oh God, here you go.
But there's
your Sexy Reds. I know where you're going.
No. I wasn't going nowhere with Sexy Red with that. No, what I was going to say is that there's extra effort in every way, shape, or form to keep the Black community from rising to its natural deserved power. Ain't got shit to do with no damn Sexy Red. She's a plant to keep us down. But
and what do you mean? In what ways are they doing that?
Well, for one, they'll use our own people against us. They'll use our own people against us. And, even the Black people who've reached billionaire status, they've done such immoral things as doing that dance that I be talking about, where, they can be taken down at a peg at any given time. I understand Weinstein and Epstein and what the fuck ever, but what's the bigger news coverage was always on the bigger news coverage was always on Russell Simmons. It was always on R. Kelly. It was always on Bill Cosby, P. Diddy, even though I think he deserves it, Jay-Z. It always is, because that's the way mainstream media is designed, to make us look like the animals. And the unfortunate part about that is that, there are people in mainstream media, like I said, skin folk who really ain't kinfolk, who go right along with the agenda as far as making black people look like monsters. All the while, there are people from other races. I'm not just going to say the white race. There are people from other races who do the exact same thing. And I'm not absolving anybody, black, white, whatever, from being monsters, being criminals, being traffickers or whatever. But it's just mighty convenient how the main people who are covered happen to be people who look like me and you. And unfortunately, there are people who look like me and you who will take a paycheck, an anonymous paycheck or unanonymous paycheck by some people, by some media outlets to continue to push that narrative. I've told you, you can't, well,
Through
you
what
know me better
means,
than-
though, is what
you
I'm
know
trying
me-
to figure out.
Huh?
Through what means to push the narrative through what means.
That the narrative through. Malcolm X said it. He who controls the media controls the narrative. And the example that I was about to give is that you know me better than anybody, and you know that I've watched First Take damn near every day for the last 14 years, and never was I more disappointed than when the owner of the UFC, Dana White, who's probably a billionaire, was on camera and he slapped his wife twice. Even though she put hands on him first, he slapped her twice on camera. And he got the biggest fucking pass ever. And Stephen A. Smith came on camera and said, "That's my friend." But in the same token, if that's a black, Ray Rice loses his career and he was spit on by his woman, and he did a natural reaction that anybody would do from being spit on. He lost his career. There's zero tolerance for X, Y, and Z with women. But then when it comes to Dana White and other people who are not of melanin descent, and Molly says, well, we don't judge people at their lowest moment. Yes, you do. You and every other outlet that's like that does that. That's the name of your game. You know, that's the name of your game. And then Justin Tucker, kicker for the Baltimore Ravens, has been accused, and this is recent, of the same thing that Deshaun Watson was accused of. And Deshaun Watson was talked about every fucking day for a couple year period. And then I hear on other outlets, we're going to cover Deshaun Watson. We're going to cover Justin Tucker the same way that we covered Deshaun Watson. It's only fair. That was about 4 or 5 months ago. Ain't heard a fucking peep since then. And other charges have come out against him. Haven't heard nothing. That's not on purpose. So when I say pushing this agenda and they get people who look like us to do the same thing, they're hired to speak on something and not speak or give the same energy to other things. So it continues the uphill battle that we have to go through. It may not be Jim Crow law anymore, but it's a gang mentality. If I can't get you one way, I'll get you another way. Thank you for letting me rant. I mean that shit. I mean it. And I've been in this sports, and I've been into this sports media shit for the last 14 years. I study that shit. And there's some shit that I can't turn a blind eye to. I can't do it. I can't. And I don't give a fuck that Dana White is in bed with ESPN business-wise. I don't give a fuck. But don't ignore that situation and then talk about morality in other situations that involve black people. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that. You full of shit. You a bought and paid for ass nigga. That's why I fuck with people like Kwame Brown and Carcino for Life, and to a degree, Corey Holcomb, because they call that shit out unapologetically. And that shit happens in front of our face. By niggas who most black people worship and idolize, which you shouldn't do anyway. So,
Well, tell
you're
you
up,
like this.
Slugger.
I'm just gonna simply say this. I mean, that's why it's important for people to tap in and find a level of discernment, because we already know that the fix is in. But I'm gonna tell you something like this. They can't shake you down if you don't give them nothing to shake. Period. Okay.
And
They can't.
that includes my penis. I'm sorry. I had to.
What? You know what?
You left it
You
wide
know
open.
what?
I'm still this is my new saying for the last couple months. I'm an idiot in real life. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay.
Show over. But no, seriously. So just whatever. I mean, I don't at this point, I wish I could throw on a cape and save, all my black people, but I can't. Okay. Only Jesus saves. So at this point, get close to God, mind your black business, buy black, love on your kids, teach them black history, and just live your life. At the end of the day, that's all you can do.
If I could throw on a cape, I would try to save all of those who are suffering tyranny and persecution. And my goal would be for equality for everybody. That would be my goal. For everybody. Because there are a lot of people who don't look like us who really do ride for us. And there are a lot of people who look like us who are some Uncle Tom ass niggas.
Okay, well, I wasn't saying that to say, people don't look out for black people. I was saying that to say I wish I could just save us. That's all.
I can dig it. And if I could do that, if there was one superhero that I could emulate, it would not be Superman. No.
Wow.
It wouldn't even be it wouldn't even be Black Panther. Nope. Nope. Wouldn't be Black Panther. I would love to have a real Wakanda, but it wouldn't be Superman. No. It wouldn't be Black Panther. Nope. It would be the black version of Superman. Who's that?
The black version of Superman?
Mm-hmm. Did he conduct himself like Superman? Under no circumstances did this black superhero conduct himself like Superman. But he was pretty much just like Superman. Huh?
Blank Man?
Blank Man. You know what? Hey, you should hang up. You should disconnect yourself for that.
Oh, Hancock.
There you go. This nigga said Blank Man. Blank Man. This nigga said Blank Man. Blank Man ain't even a Marvel hero.
And neither is Hancock.
So, but all of Hancock's traits is that of Black Superman. And you notice we only got one movie of Hancock.
I don't know why I said Blank Man.
This nigga said Blank Man. Blank motherfucking man.
Oh, I got tears
Blank
coming in
man.
my eyes. That was
Blank Man. That's crazy. Damon Wayans would be proud of you.
I think if I could be or have the powers of any superhero, I think I would like to be I'm thinking like I like Brandon.
This nigga said Blank Man.
Oh my God. All right, so I would like a hybrid of powers, right? So I would kind of want to have Thor's powers, like with the whole lightning.
That motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh my God, Brandon, shut up.
That's what she said. She thought I was talking about this motherfucker right here.
Oh my God, shut up.
Like,
No, but seriously,
rolling
I would
around
want
with
to
a
combine.
fucking toilet bowl as a robot. J5. Blank man. All right. All right. All right.
He was the only black superhero I could think of.
That nigga said blank man. That nigga said blank man. Anyway, first of all, I owe everybody an apology. It was supposed to be Sports Plus Life replay, not relay. So I definitely can understand why people are confused. I'll edit it once this is over with. But yes, some of those conversations definitely needed to be had, and just to set the record straight. What the first thing I'm pro before anything else is I'm pro love. I'm pro love before anything else, and that goes to everybody, whether I agree with you or disagree with you. But sometimes the uncomfortable conversation is the conversation that needs to be had. So anyway, it's Saturday, and I'm gonna go along with the rest of my day. I just got finished watching Power, and Power was good. Power did not disappoint. Well, Raising Kanan, that didn't, it didn't disappoint. But anyway, I'm gonna say peace. I'm out this bit. Love you, and again, I will see you guys on mañana.